there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie and you're watching akaMommy. And today I'm going to share with you an updated homeschool room tour for the 2018-2019 school year. So I did share with you a classroom tour on my channel last year. I will go ahead and link that for you guys in a card that will pop up on the screen, or if you're watching on a mobile device, there will be a link in the description below this video. You can go back and watch that video if you want to see kind of how our room used to be set up. It's not really set up a lot differently. We did get some new furniture pieces that I think really brightened up the space, and I'm using those furniture pieces in a different way. So I really have kind of changed the layout as far as where things are located in our classroom. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you. Basically, I'm just gonna point out the things that have changed from last year because I went into a lot of detail in my video last year. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I wanted to mention as I do a pan around this room is that we do use our formal dining room as our homeschool room. We have used this room for 6 years now. This is our 7th year. And so this is the space that we have that is available for us to use. We do the best with what we have. And the change that I wanted to show you is the new world map that we have. I previously had a world map on a different wall, and then right above our aquarium I had a map of the United States, but they were starting to look a little tattered because they were just made from paper. I purchased this tapestry from Amazon and I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. It adds a gorgeous pop of color to the room, and my kids are really enjoying it as well. It's not labeled. It doesn't have any of the countries or oceans listed on it, but that's okay. We love it regardless. So next I wanted to just hop over to this corner where we have this white bookcase. This was not in our classroom last year. This is our first year to have it, and it was gifted to us by a friend. I was extremely grateful for that. I really wanted to brighten up this room quite a bit, and so we have brighter chairs for our table, white furniture now, and I think that it really helped out a lot. So on this bookshelf, I'm gonna zoom in here in a minute and show you guys, but this is just a tall standing bookshelf, as you can see, that goes all the way to the floor. And let me go ahead and show you what's on each one of these shelves. Okay, so we are going to start just here on the top shelf. I will say at the top here, we do have our globe, and then just a little sign that my kids bought for me as a gift a couple of years ago. This container right here holds paper. I've got some cardstock in there, as well as some manila paper and some extra notebook paper. We have our random office supplies that we might need up high enough so that my toddler can't get them, but not so high that anyone else can't reach them when they need them. Down one shelf, we have just a picture that we took at the beginning of school last year that I really like. This is holding right now, I'm not even sure what this is. I think it's double-sided tape if I remember right. These are my markers that I do not want little hands to get a hold of. And then we have a basket over here that holds headphones and the mouse to the computer so that my kids can do their math. So on the very next shelf down, we have a basket over here. This is actually where I'm going to house flashcards for my kids. Right now I have a couple sets in here that are dry erase, and this is the one that Kyler is currently working on because we're working on her letters. And then she has just a little random notebook here that she likes to color in. This basket is right now just holding our mouse pad, nothing too fancy there. We have our pencil sharpener because we use it quite a bit. Here I have a dictionary in case anyone needs it, and we also have our Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons book. I used that a little bit whenever I was teaching Grant to read. It wasn't something that really seemed to help him as much as I wish that it had, but I'm holding on to it, and I'm hoping that I can use it with Kyler. And then we have our Bob books that she will also be using here when she starts learning how to read. So down one shelf from that, we have our classroom laptop that my children use to do their math. They do teaching textbooks. We also did Math UC for our math curriculum a few years ago, so we do still have the manipulatives for that. We will use those if needed. And then we have these DVDs that I really like to incorporate into our school. These are the preschool prep series. I purchased these on Amazon. You can find a link to these in my Amazon store, which is linked below this video. We also use These are called Rock and Learn, and they're another educational DVD series. These are for science and math. My son really likes those a lot. And obviously this one's Let's Tell Time. And then the, like I said, the preschool prep is more for phonics, learning letters and colors and shapes. Those are definitely for younger kids, and then these would be for the older kids. And on the final shelf, we just have some reference books. The majority of these I have purchased from Usborne over the past couple of years, but some of them I did purchase from Amazon. So this is just basically our reference section for our classroom. So this is the largest wall that we have in our classroom, and it is now housing this, I don't really know, it's a credenza basically is how it's marketed. I purchased this from Amazon. It took me a long time to find something that I really truly loved. I found this about 1.5 years ago on Amazon. I knew that I loved it and I really wanted it, but I wanted to see if I could find something local, something used. Unfortunately, I was not able to find anything that I liked as much as this. So I did purchase this and put it together. I'm going to show you guys how we are using each one of these little openings, but this is the credenza that sits on this wall, and then just directly above it you'll see that I have my whiteboard that I use when I need to do any type of teaching there. And I'm also going to go ahead and zoom in and show you what is, you know, all over in that area. So I'm going to just quickly show you how we are doing my kids' baskets. This is Kyler's basket right here. Grant has one in the middle and Camry is on the far end. I will pull Grant's basket out to show you. He pulls out his basket when he's ready to do his work. He has his reader in there. He also has a whiteboard to use when we do his language arts. He has his day planner open to the current week so that he can mark off his work. He has his handwriting level 4 book that he's working on, and then we have his language arts course book. So he has all of his work in this basket. The only things that are not in here are his math and then his science and his history, which we do science and history differently. They don't have workbooks. So that is basically all that he would need. To this side, Kyler has her a basket with her work materials in it, and then on the far end, Camry has a basket with all of her work materials as well. And without going into too much detail, I'll just show you that pretty much everything on the bottom shelves is either Camry has textbooks over there. Grant has one textbook. It's the red book right there. Everything else is pretty much just books for leisure reading. We also have some, I can't remember what those are called, but they're like pattern blocks that Kyler likes to play with, and they're a good learning activity. And then over here, Kyler has her crayons and all of her coloring books that she uses multiple times a day. So on the top of our credenza, we have this little organizer that has our pencils, our matte pencils, and then some pens for mom to use. I also have been reading to my kids from the Book of Virtues for Young People. This is a really good one. I would highly recommend it. I also have my course companion for when I'm helping Grant do his work, and then I have a folder here. Right now it's empty, but this is kind of mom's command center so that I can find what I need. We also have our scripture of the week. We all work on memorizing the scripture every week. I usually have my phone here when we're doing school. And then let me shift you down just a bit. So here directly under the whiteboard, I have their markers that they can use with their individual whiteboards. Usually we have this tucked in here. I pulled it out earlier because I used it. We have a family Bible that they can use for reference. And then we have lots and lots of books. We are a book family. Like, I cannot tell you how many books we own. There's just so many. So that is everything on top of this credenza. So this is the last little storage component that we have in our classroom. And as you can see, our classroom does lead directly into the kitchen. That's probably the only thing that I don't love about our classroom, is that because it's at the center of our home, it is a little bit difficult to, you know, have a distraction-free school zone, but it is what it is. We are working with it. So we have this tall standing, I don't know what, just this cubicle set. It's from IKEA. Again, I purchased it used from a friend, and it does have the bins that pull out. I have 4 of them. I have one of them pulled out so that I can see you, or I can show you what is in it. But this is the last little thing that we are using to organize in our classroom. Here's the bin that goes in the very top of that IKEA bookshelf. This is where I keep things that I will use for Kyler. We have some of her curriculum things in here. This is her flip book for her letters. We also have some puzzles down in here. She loves these. If you've never seen these, I can't recommend them enough. They are by Melissa and Doug, and there are 4 little puzzles in here. And I really love that they're actually marked on the back of the wooden piece so that kids can easily put them in their proper places. She has a couple different sets of these. She has other puzzles down here to work on. I normally just keep this where she cannot reach it. Here's an Etch-a-Sketch so that she can play with that if need be during class time. Sometimes I really just need for her to have an activity to do for a few minutes. And this is where I usually will go to pull something for her. I also have Play-Doh in a different area of the house I will sometimes use. So this is more things for her her schooling. So that bin goes in the very top of the section that the IKEA cubicle that I showed you. Let me go ahead and quickly run through these since there's not too much exciting about them, but this second bin actually just houses extra supplies. Right now, there are, I don't even know if you can see down in there very well, but we've got some extra pencils. These are the extra letters for our felt board, a blanket in case anyone gets cold. We have some little chalkboards there. Let me pull this one out. This is currently housing some extra curriculum that we're not using because it's first grade curriculum. I don't have a first grader, but these are Grant's challenge words. I've kind of just broken them up into some smaller chunks for now. We're still working through those. And then we also have his reader that we're not quite to yet, but we store that in here as well. And then the very bottom one is just holding extra paper. We have composition notebooks, we have spiral notebooks, and we have regular notebook paper. I also wanted to mention this little bucket here on the top. This is another, if you want to call it busy time activity for Kyler. These are her little wooden dolls that she likes to dress up. This one happens to be from Sophia the First, but she also has a couple of other ones in here, and she literally can sit and play with these for hours and hours and hours. So when I need for her to have a little bit of quiet time and mom's not quite ready to work with her just yet, I have different things that I can pull to help her to do that. And the final area in our classroom is our new little reading nook. I put a chair here so that the kids could sit and read and just kind of have some quiet time, and I have a nice comfy place to sit, and it's not uncommon for them to pull out the blanket and sit there and read a book. So friends, that's going to be everything for this classroom room tour. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Make sure that you check out my room tour from last year. Things have changed quite a bit, but I go into a little bit more detail in that video about why we use this room and some of the good things about the room and some of the not quite great things about the room. But regardless, we are blessed to have this space to be able to learn in our homes. I hope that you guys are all having a fabulous school year if you have begun, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure that you subscribe so that I can see you there, and I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.